Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Cut This, Polish That.
Today, we're diving into porcelain cutting tips and tricks as we cut a fully wrapped integrated sink. Brian, you want to share with everyone our main focus for today's episode?
Porcelain. It's been a trending topic for stone fabricators for the past several years, and it continues to gain popularity as an excellent choice for countertops, bathrooms, fireplaces, and more.
And while many fabricators have embraced it by now, some have yet to do so. Brian, what would you say to them?
So a modern stone shop should be able to process any stone-like material efficiently, whether it's granite, marble, porcelain, or quartzite.
Exactly. You need a machine that can be optimized to the material that's on the table. With that said, what machine are we using today?
Today we're going to use our latest and greatest, the Javelin CNC SawJet. Plus, in this episode, we'll show you porcelain tips and tricks applicable to any saw.
Sounds great. What specific material are we cutting today, Brian?
So today we're proud to have Infinity Surfaces sponsor with our Cameo porcelain slab. This provides the look of an exotic agate slab, but with the durability of porcelain.
That's an incredible slab of porcelain. I can't believe the level of detail in it. What do you have in mind to create with it?
We're going to turn this into a fully wrapped, integrated sink full of miters and vein matching, something that's very popular in the industry today. Plus, at the end of the episode, we're going to have a special guest helping us put it together so we can show you the final results.
Awesome. I'm excited to get started. Where do you want to begin?
Darren, let's go start at the Slab Vision scanner.
Let's get to it. Here we are in front of the Slab Vision scanner, the latest tool on the market for capturing and digitizing slabs. It provides a high-resolution image of the slab, making it easy to vein match and lay out your countertops.
That's exactly right, Darren. And as we know, more and more of these materials are becoming more detailed. So whether it's a complex pattern like this Cameo porcelain we're working with today, or it's a design with like fine, light veining, a high-quality image is crucial.
I hear that all the time from my customers that do high-end custom work. They need that fine detail in the digital image, and the Slab Vision provides just that.
Okay, I'm ready to head to the studio to finalize this layout, and then we're going to talk programming this porcelain.
Sounds great.
So we're going to start with T-Match and show you the layout. We used just one slab on this. So as you can see, I have it all kind of just laid out. And the important thing for me was to have the front and the two sides to vein match. And then I also wanted the front with the countertop to vein match. In this image, you can see that it pulled together very nicely. With the 3D layout functionality inside of T-Match, it made it much easier to work with modeling this sink up so that I could get vein match on all these little parts and get them angled in the right orientation as to how it would be when it's finally assembled. So now we have a very good idea of what our final project will look like. So we're inside AlphaCam. This is the program I used. One thing that makes it very simple to bring this file in is our Input T-Match DXF button. This makes sure that when I bring the file in, it lands in exactly the right spot on my saw. One thing you'll notice is we have all the miter edges labeled out in here. That made it easy for me to apply the mitered edges in here. And with the help of the Auto Toolpath button, it made the programming very simple and very fast. One thing you'll notice is I have all of these little water jet cuts inside this drain. I wanted to make sure that I had those cut out before I cut this part loose. And I also did this with any other smaller parts that I was worried about that it would maybe move. So I ordered cuts in the way that I would get the smaller cuts done first before I would release them from the main part of the slab. So a few things that I've learned that's important for cutting porcelain is making sure that you do your perimeter cuts first to relieve any tension on here, and also that you control the ramp in and ramp out of those cuts. Park has made it very simple with our ultra compact feature. This way we can have our own specific settings for ramp in and ramp out and the distance on straight cuts and miter cuts. And we also built the command in to automatically apply our tension band cuts, and then we can have the Park pause right after the fourth tension band cut. That way we can remove any little thin strips of material so they don't get ejected by the saw when you're making other cuts. Okay, just a quick recap. Make sure that you do your tension band cuts on the outside perimeters. Start from the outside in anytime you can on making cuts. And you want to make sure that you do any small part cutting first, so that way you don't have to worry as much about parts moving on you. Also, if you can control the ramp in and ramp out of your feed rates, that's going to help you very much in not having part damage. Okay, so there was the layout and the programming. Let's go cut on the Javelin. Okay, Darren, so we have the porcelain slab loaded up, the program is loaded up, so we are ready to start cutting. Let's get this machine to work. Okay, so some of the very first cutting that you'll see that the Javelin is doing is we're taking off the perimeter tension band strips off of the slab. So we'll do that on all four sides. Take note that this machine is way over on the far side of the slab. You can see that the Javelin does that with ease and has no struggles getting way out there. You'll see the last perimeter cut that we're doing, I actually use this as one of the miter cuts on the part. So it was kind of a dual purpose cut. So next what you're gonna see is we're doing all the low pressure piercing for that nifty little drain that we had put inside this sink. One thing I like about working with this 12mm porcelain is the amount of time it takes to pierce through this is very minimal. It only takes maybe 3 to up to 4 seconds to pierce through this. After all the piercing is done, we're cutting out all of our little oval or pill-shaped cutouts for the drain. And now we're going to start making some cuts, and I'm starting with a smaller part here toward the outside edge of the slab. If you're watching closely, you can see the ramp in and ramp out. Remember, that's automatic, that's in the program. You don't have anybody standing by the saw controlling it manually. So one thing about this cut is this is a collinear cut. This cut is used to cut the top miter of every panel on the outside of this project. The next series of miter cuts you're going to see are cutting out the individual panels. So all four sides that make the vertical part of the sink. For the sink pan, you can see this is just a very minute miter cut. It's only at 7 degrees. All right, now you're seeing the water jet come over to work its magic on our sink. It's gonna start with the faucet hole, so I don't have to drill that out by hand. And it's also gonna clean up those 45-degree inside corners with one sweep of the jet. That way I have zero to minimal cleanup on those corners. Having a 5-axis saw jet in your shop like the Javelin will help make your work so much easier, so much faster, and you have a lot less handwork and labor going into your product. All right, so this is our final cut. Program is done. As you can see, the Javelin made this very fast and easy for us. So in your head, do you think you could break it down how many cuts were in this project between straight cuts and miter cuts? We had 13 straight blade cuts. We had 25 miter blade cuts. We had 19 straight water jet cuts and 10 miter jet cuts. That brings us to a total of 67. Even though cutting porcelain takes a little extra time, we are very happy with how fast the Javelin did it in just over an hour, especially considering we had 67 cuts in total. Okay, as promised, I wanted to share with you some best practices for cutting porcelain. The first and foremost is making sure that your table is in excellent condition. You want to make sure that it's level and flat and is going to have good support for the porcelain. You also want to optimize your blade cutting by using the Park Industries Ultra Compact feature. That way it ramps in and ramps out automatically and you don't have to stand by the machine. Blade selection is also important when you're cutting porcelain. Make sure that you consider a trusted brand like we did to make sure that you have accurate cuts. Another tip that I have is making sure that you have a very high water flow and also that the water is pointed or directed to the right place where you need it on the blade. Blade glazing can be a real showstopper and cause you a lot of frustration. For assembling this project, we've teamed up with one of our valued customers, Leon's Countertops. Leon's Countertops is a leading fabricator in the great state of Minnesota, the home of Park Industries. They excel in this type of work using their Javelin CNC saw jet.
Hi, I'm Dan King, the General Manager here at Leon's Countertops in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We're really excited to be helping Park Industries put together this custom porcelain integrated sink. For us at Leon's Countertops, as we're growing in the market, it was important to us to bring in a machine like the Javelin that helps us with scalability. It's highly precise in its miter cuts, which helps us achieve the results we're looking for, and more importantly, our customers. We've been working with Park Industries for probably close to 10 years now, and we love it. The relationship, the service that we get from them is impeccable.
So here you're seeing the team just kind of dry fitting and test fitting the parts to make sure that everything lines up correctly. Looks like it does. So they're gonna go right into getting these parts glued together. This is always a moment of truth for any fabricator. Taking those parts off the saw and putting them together to make sure that they fit the way that you hope they would. But I had no worries because I had trusted machines from Park Industries with the SlabVision and the Javelin CNC saw jet. Let's go ahead back to Park and show you the final results.
Here we are back at Park Industries, and the time has come.
Okay, we're ready to show you guys the results of our mitered integrated vanity sink. Take a look. Okay, Darren, so you're getting your first look at this sink. What's your first thoughts?
I think it's beautiful. I mean, the Javelin absolutely crushed it, and Leon's did a fantastic job putting it all together.
I couldn't agree more. All these miter cuts are nice, crisp, clean. It's got a great squared look to it. The vein matching is phenomenal.
I agree, and the level of detail in this material, I couldn't imagine doing this without the SlabVision.
So do you see this gaining more and more popularity when you're out talking to your customers? Are they looking to do more porcelain or maybe do a little more challenging project like this with an integrated sink?
Absolutely, it's a growing trend, but I think a lot of people are just scared to do this type of work. But I think this project really showed that if you have the right machine, the right settings, it doesn't have to be that difficult. If you'd like to see the Javelin, porcelain cutting, or any one of our other machines, we'll fly you to Park Industries for an exclusive demo on us. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Cut This, Polish That. A big thank you to our sponsors, Leon's Countertops and Infinity Surfaces.
I hope you guys learned some new tips and tricks for cutting porcelain in your shop to make it a little bit easier for you. And if you're still struggling, get a Javelin. We're gonna wrap this up. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
I stopped there for a second. I forgot I was supposed to keep going. Like my eyes are gonna be like doing this the whole time.
We're gonna.
Boom.
You keep saying all this shit. It's like so as you can see, we just used.
Someone forgot to walk. Oh, I was supposed to walk out.